Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. My name is Technomagus, as you may as well already know, and today we are going to be doing Megaman X6. Now, I do need to warn you, did a bit of a test run before I started up tonight, so for those of you listening with headphones, you may want to take them off and use your normal speakers. Simply because during the actual storyline segments, they did voice acting, which is really cool. The problem is my disc, for some reason, the voice data is really staticky and corrupted and doesn't really sound very good. Why don't I have any volume? Oh, it would help if I actually put it in the forefront. There we go. Okay, so, while the intro plays, I'm just going to go over a few things. Originally, Keiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man, intended for the X series to end with Mega Man X5. That's why they tried to wrap everything up, that's why Zero pretty much died, and all that fun stuff. The problem is, Capcom kind of said no, so shortly after X5 was released, Keiji found out that X6 was already being made. Yeah, it went about as well as you could expect. The game had less than a year of development put into it. X5, I believe, originally came out in like '99, and X6 came out in 2000 in Japan, and was like 2000 and 2001 for America. Capcom also got a huge amount of flack for X5's translation. So they pretty much did the exact opposite thing with X6. Rather than changing the names of all the Mavericks, they simply left them the same way that they are, like literal Romanji translations of the Maverick names from Japanese to English. So that's why we have names like Blaze Heatnix or Ground Scaravich. Though considering some of the enemies, but anyway, so as Zero has gone missing after the end of X5, we only have X to start off with, and he has the Falcon armor instead of the. Oh yeah, here's the nasty voice clips that I mentioned earlier. The actual in-game sounds are perfectly fine. It's just the cutscene voice clips, and I'm not sure why. So please bear with me. I will be playing through all of them. That was the other thing, is Capcom got a lot of flack for not translating the voice, or for using shoddy English voice acting in X4 and then no voice acting whatsoever in X5, so they just simply left the Japanese voices in. And basically, looks like they ran the script through Google Translate or something, because it's pretty bad, as you'll see. I mean, it's not bad yet, but just wait. Well, there's your first clue. Was there any violent battle here? Well, actually, that's not quite terrible. There you go. There's your first clue that we're going to be in for a bit of a ride. There is no one else is left to fight. It only gets better from here. Alright, so now we are into the actual gameplay. So similar to how in X5, X started out with the the powered down version of the Force Armor from X4, in X6, X starts with a powered down version of the Falcon Armor. Alright, so what she means by the dash function is incomplete. You remember how the Falcon Armor had the invincible air dash in X5, where you could just fly around? Well, in X6, it's that. And it's activated by either hitting the jump button a second time, or by trying to dash in midair. It's no longer invincible, it's just simply a short little dash. It can still damage enemies, but it doesn't really do a lot. Also, the charge shot no longer pierces walls like it did in X5. However, it is still very powerful and can kill some enemies in one shot. Also, like at the end of X5, X has the Z-Saber, which is activated by hitting the triangle button, or the special weapon button. Now, the thing about it is, and also X still has the ability to duck. The thing about it is, X can only do a standing slash. He cannot do a ducking slash, or he can also do jump slash. The Z-Saber is incredibly weak. It is required for certain, to get past certain points, like, for example, this. This cannot be broken by his buster shots. Also, one very nice thing, Alia only mandatory calls you at the beginning of each level. When she wants to call you, the little exclamation point will appear. You can hit the select button to answer her, and they'll have a little conversation, but it is not required to get through the level. It is entirely at your option. Now, the problem is, all of these things require 3 full Z-Saber strikes to break. Or basically, I think it's 8 hits of the Z-Saber, which is... X is really slow with the Z-Saber, so it's a really bad idea. Alright, and watch out for these things. While they are not instant death, they can still... they do still deal quite a significant amount of damage. Though you have plenty of time to try and dodge them. Yeah, 8 hits from the Z-Saber. Fortunately, the Z-Saber can hit up to 3 times a swing. At least for normal enemies. Alright, so this boss is actually unique in the X series in that it is a giant mechaniloid for the intro stage boss, but it has its weakness is either the fully charged X Buster shot, or you can also use the Z-Saber on it. They both deal about the same damage, but instead of the actual mechaniloid itself being damaged, what you want to do is you want to actually hit the little floating orb behind it. Because that will stun the mechaniloid and make it fall to the ground, and will also deal a significant amount of damage. It takes about 4 hits to kill it. It's pretty easy. Yeah, as you can see, no effort whatsoever. Hey, look who it is! Well, I already killed it, but sure, thanks for the assist, Zero. What? A second boss fight? Alright, meet Hymax. This guy's a doofus. Also, Hymax is completely invulnerable. You cannot damage him. Charge shots do nothing. Oop. Don't want to get hit. Z-Saber does nothing. All you need to do is just dodge his attacks for a couple seconds. And the fight automatically ends. I believe if you take enough damage, he'll also stop the fight. I'm not entirely sure. I've never really bothered. Okay, so depending on the character you have, Hymax has two different ways of fighting him. If you fight him as X, you must have a Maverick weapon to fight him. If you fight him as Zero, you can fight him without requiring a Maverick weapon, though it's troublesome. Well, actually, no. You need to have a... Or basically... I'm trying to think of exactly how I want to word this. But essentially, Hymax doesn't take damage from the Maverick weapons. They stun him so that you can hit him with normal attacks. But you'll find that out when I actually fight him later on. Because there's actually 3 ways to get into the final areas. Or to get to the final stages. You're not actually required to fight the bosses. Just like in X5. Alright, so let's go ahead and save here real quick. And just like with X5, 1 block of PS1 memory card data will give you 8 save slots. Now, the methods to get the... Well, first we have to listen to static. There is speculation that Isak is supposed to be like a reincarnated Dr. Wily, but not. It's kind of unfounded. There are few Reploids or humans are left on Earth. Nice. So this is actually going to come back to bite us in the ass later, and I'll explain that once we get to the stage select screen. Yes, because that's not blatant lies. Oh, one other benefit of X6 versus X5, you can actually skip cutscenes by hitting the start button. For this first playthrough, I will play all the cutscenes that I encounter, but I'm going to be doing multiple playthroughs, and I will be skipping the cutscenes that we've already seen for future ones. Alright, so now let's just go into the mechanics of the game. So the investigators... basically, the way that it works is... Oh, hold on. Wait for this to finish going through. Yeah. That was what Cygnus just said. Basically, the Reploid volunteers that Isak recruited for the investigations are all lost in the stage. There are 16 in every stage. 2 of them give you a health up or an energy up. 4 of them give you special parts. And the other 12 or the other 10 are basically useless. Now, what it means so there are a total of 128 Reploids to find. The Reploids carry parts. There are special parts for X. There are the normal parts that can be equipped by either hunter. I'll give you 2 guesses as to who the other hunter is. There are 4 special parts that only X can equip, 4 special parts that only the bonus hunter can equip, and then there are 6 parts that are limited. What that means is that basically the way the part system works is different from X5. The Reploids that you rescue carry a part, and you can then equip the part once your hunter rank reaches high enough. Your hunter rank increases based on the number of nightmare souls you collect, which are obtained either by killing the Mavericks at the end of each stage, or rather the Nightmare Investigators, defeating the Nightmare enemies in the stage itself, and collecting their souls before they respawn, or by fighting the special guest idiot who we'll get into later in the game. In order to be able to equip parts, you must be at least rank A, I believe, which is like a couple hundred Nightmare Souls. You'll usually be at a high enough rank to equip parts by the end of the first or second level. In order to be able to equip all 5 parts, you must be rank, I think it's MEH is the final rank in this game, just like an X5. But in order to do that, you must get 9,999 Nightmare Souls. This is really tedious, because Nightmare Souls come in small blue orbs, which are worth, like, 4, large blue orbs, which are worth, I believe, 16, and then green orbs, which are worth 200. The only ways to get the green orbs are to the first time you fight the Nightmare Investigators, and when you fight the special guest idiot. So, yeah, it takes a bit of grinding. Fortunately, it's actually rather easy to get to the special guest idiot once he becomes available, so you can actually grind them rather quickly. Relatively. You're pretty much restricted by the speed of your loading. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our special guest hunter. So we are going to go to Shield Sheldon's stage over here at the Laser Institute. And we will start off with the Falcon armor, because better to have some armor than no armor. Now, like in X5, there are 2 armor sets. There is the Blade armor and the Shadow armor. The Blade armor is similar to the 3rd armor in that it allows you to perform a secondary air dash in any direction, only you can actually also air dash straight down. Not really sure why you would want to, but alright. But it also lets you charge the Z-Saber and allows you to charge special weapons, which the Falcon armor does not allow you to do, just like an X5. Alright, so here are the Reploids. You collect them just like you collect the Lost Reploids back in the Electric Trap and Under the Sea stages, back in X5, only this time they actually give you bonuses for collecting them. That is a nightmare. You do not want to let them capture a Reploid, because if they capture a Reploid, then excuse me. If they capture a Reploid, you lose that Reploid forever. If that Reploid happened to have a bonus, well, tough shit. You cannot get it back. The green or the blue orb that I grabbed, that is the Nightmare Soul. If you let it shrink, basically it starts off as a large blue orb, then goes to a small blue orb, and then respawns the Nightmare. If the Nightmare respawns and you kill it a second time, oh well, you lost the orb. Your goal is to collect as many of the orbs as possible. And here we just have reflectors. You need to hit the reflectors in order to proceed to the next area through the doors. Watch out, because the reflections can actually hurt you. Or when the actual beam itself doesn't hurt you, but the reflection can. We're going here for the, in order to rescue the bonus hunter, simply because this is the easiest way to get through. Alright, so the way that if you go straight, you get to the boss. If you go down, that takes you to the bonus area. Every stage has a bonus area. Whoop, we do not want to go there. We want to go down. Come on, fire again. There we go. Down we go. And it's all just reflection puzzles. And of course the music is all sorts of screwed up. Alright, come on. Why aren't you firing? What's going on here? The hell? Alright, there we go. Oops. Ah. There we go. Oh, friggin'. There we go. Okay, so now to get our first piece of armor, we want to go through here. Crap, 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 crap. Oh, friggin', you gotta be kidding me. Alright, hold on. We lost a Reploid. Alright, we need to... I am going to be doing a 100% playthrough. I am not going to be losing a single Reploid, and I will not... See, the problem is, there are only 3 ways to stop a Nightmare from seizing a Reploid. Kill the Nightmare before it gets the Reploid, scroll the Reploid off the screen, or die before it actually latches on. If it latches on during your death animation, oh well, you lost that Reploid. There are... And if a Reploid is infected, it goes missing. Well, one of 2 things will happen to it. Oh, crap, I did not mean to continue. Sorry, pardon me while I go suicidal for a sec. But anyway, if a Reploid is infected, you can either destroy the resulting Nightmare Reploid, which will give you, or which will call this Reploid to be killed in action, or if you do not destroy it, then it will go missing, and that's it. You'll never see it again, either way. So the goal is to not let any Reploids get captured. This is really... Oh, crap. Hang on a sec. This gets really annoying with certain stages because there are some very awkward placements of Reploids and Nightmares that are very difficult. And we're just going to reset. Hold on a sec. Okay, there we go. All right. There are certain placements of Reploids and Nightmares that are almost impossible to avoid the Reploid getting infected, especially in the Infinity Maginian stage, which is one of the stages that we will actually enter in later in the game. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get through this level, and then I'm gonna break off the video because we're already at quite a bit. We're already quite a bit of time into this video, but anyway, this is not going to take me nearly as long now that I don't have to explain the mechanics anymore. Alright, come on. Okay, so back to the Laser Institute. Alright, so let's go ahead and go through, recollect all those lost Reploids. This time actually collect that Nightmare Soul so I don't leave it behind and respawn the Nightmare. Come on. Down we go. Alright, come on, come on. Alright, so. Oh. And dead I go. Alright, so let's actually kill the nightmare. Oh, or I'll just die in the pit. Fortunately, I died before the nightmare actually got anywhere near the Reploid, so it's not going to die. There is a hidden platform. I don't remember exactly where it is. But it is possible to get. Oh. I can do this, really. Oh, come on. You gotta... Okay. Thankfully, I at least got it off screen before it infected the Reploid. Okay, it should be right about here. There we go. And now we can get... So, oh yes, also, unlike the Falcon armor, or the Force armor in X5, the Falcon armor in X6 does keep its Giga attack, which I will demonstrate at some point, in theory. Okay, I can't actually get him right now, so we'll just leave him there, and we'll go back and get him on our next play, or on our next trip through here. Okay. Alright, so that right there is the portal to the second area, which is required in order to obtain 0, and also to open the final stages early. The first time you go through the final area, or you go through the bonus area, you will face the Nightmare 0. Oh, that's right, you have to take damage to get up there. Because spikes are lethal at any point of their... You need Mercy and its ability to get up there. Alright, so we've gotten all but one of the Reploids. I'm not going to be able to get the last Reploid until I come back later. Which is fine, because we're not going to be coming back here for a while. Alright, so meet the Nightmare 0. It's purple. Depending on which stage you actually encounter Nightmare 0 in, the conversations are different. Most of the secondary stages are a complete pain in the ass to get to, so I'm not going to bother going through all of it. Alright, so 0 basically fights similar to how he did in X5. But he is weak to the Z-Saber, as you can hear by his little girly screams. Oh yeah, and that giant crescent slash he did is the Genmu 0 that I mentioned before in the X5 playthrough that I never got a chance to show. This time, however, it's not instantly lethal. It just does a crap ton of damage. Yeah, the Z-Saber does a lot of damage to Zero. Makes it very easy to defeat him. Alright. Now enjoy the quality storyline. And I mean quality. Yeah. Alright, so we got Zero back. Yay! Now, if we try going to the bonus area again, a second time, instead of Zero, we will face Hymax. Defeating Hymax will open the way to the final stages. However, we are not able to defeat him yet, because we do not have any boss weapons. So, the other way of getting through these stages, or the other way of getting to the end stages, is to defeat all 8 Mavericks, just like normal. The final method is to get to the is to obtain 3,000 Nightmare Souls with either X or with Zero. That's also not a very pleasant way of doing it, because it takes forever to grind through there. A lot of the names of the Reploids that you rescue are named after Capcom characters. So, especially in Blizzard Wolfang stage, the Ice stage, almost all of them are like Breath of Fire and Final Fight characters. Now, when you pick up parts, the Weapon Up and Energy Up Reploids only go to the hunter who collected them. So, for example, X, that Energy Up and Life Up only goes to X, not to Zero. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and split off the video here. I'll be back in just a few minutes, and when I get back, I'll explain how the Nightmare system works, and we'll go ahead and we'll be able to carry on. See you in a few minutes.